Hey guys, it's time for Desert Brutality 2021, and this year's match is a little bit different than previous ones in that it is actually a 3-firearm match. We are using a handgun, a rifle, and a precision rifle, or designated marksman's rifle. And so I thought it would be pretty cool to do the whole French theme. I've kind of done this before. This time I will use the FAMAS as my rifle, and what I'm very excited about is I will be using a brand new FRF2 as my precision rifle. Now, what pistol to go along with those? There was some thought to a MAB P15. That would be a pretty competent gun, high capacity. It fits in my division, which is Cold War era firearms. There was, by the way, for this match, there was Classic, which was 1945 and earlier, Cold War, which is 46 up to 1991, Armored plus P, which requires you to wear armor, of course, and allows you to use any guns that you want, and Partisan, which did not require armor and allowed you to use only 2 firearms. You could use the carbine as your precision rifle as well. Anyway, so the PA-15 would be a pretty good pistol, but I figured what could be a better idea than using a Manurhin MR73 with full power, 158 grain, 357 Magnum loading.
It was not a good idea.
It was not a good idea.
Es ist keine gute Idee gewesen.
It was not a good idea.
Se ei todellakaan ollut hyvä idea.
It was not a good idea.
It wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, they may be right. Let's dig into this. We have 2 days of shooting stages coming up, and it's going to be an emotional roller coaster of results. We went ahead and started on stage 4 because of our squatting, and this is a Casara Drill named after Carl Casara, who came up with it. And the idea is you throw a kettlebell, move to where the kettlebell lands, go prone, and shoot from there. And every Brutality match thus far has had some style of Casara Drill, but they're always different. This time, we have a 35-pound kettlebell and a 300-yard precision rifle target. And that's the first time we've done a long range or a precision Casara Drill. And I thought this was going to be fantastic. I was really looking forward to this stage. And it was pretty fun to start on it. So I'm getting some pretty good throws on this. The kettlebell's not quite as heavy as they sometimes are. And the FRF2 is running wonderfully for me. In fact, I have not yet missed a single shot. Now, the way this works, you have 180 seconds to complete the course of fire. I'm moving about 50 yards total. And every time you get past one of these 15-yard red marker lines, you get a 15-second bonus. Yeah, another hit. And there we go. Not much roll on that one, but a good throw. I'm kind of taking my time here. You have to first spot the target, then get on the scope, and then make a good shot. There we go. Just like that. Easy, right? I almost managed to get it over the very last line, but not quite. The target's off on the next ridge. You'll actually see it in a moment.
Hey! Ball throw, just over this line.
Just a little 3 feet to get over the last line, the finish line. And then just up here, I'll highlight the target for you. There it is.
Hey!
And you can actually see it
Time
there.
is 1-1-4-5-1.
On ne passe pas.
1-1-4-5-1.
Shot it clean.
Ian, you're currently in the lead for the match. Great job, dude. Show me a clear rifle.
I would not end up remaining the best time on that stage, but I ended up 6th place out of the entire everyone who shot the match on that stage, and I am extremely happy with that result. It was a fantastic way to start off the match. So let's move on to stage 5. All right, this is another pretty physical stage.
Shooter is ready. Stand by.
We are going to start by engaging 8 pistol plates, actually 7 plates and a static plate. And this is where the revolver starts to maybe look like it wasn't such a great idea. I'm actually doing decent here. I missed 2 of my shots, but there's 8 hits that are required, which means no matter what, I have to reload this thing in order to make them all. I will remind you I am shooting full power 357, so there is a fair bit of recoil coming off of those, although the Troush grips do a really good job controlling it. Now, having knocked down those pistol plates, we're going to run back to the head of the bay here, grab a weighted sled. This thing weighs, I think, 120 pounds, what they said. It's got a couple heavy steel plates. And I have to drag this over to the next bay. Those metal skis that are on have approximately 0 slipperiness. That thing is a beast to move around. Now from here, there are 2 little auto poppers, probably 4-inch targets, maybe 5-inch targets, and I have to hit them 12 times total through the tire. Interestingly here, several times during this match, I got so used to the really good trigger on the MR73 and on the FRF2 that I actually thought I had an empty chamber on the FAMAS when I went to fire the first round because the trigger is so much heavier in it. This was one of those. I recharged it when I didn't need to. Anyway, my shooting here was just, frankly, slow and bad. I had a lot of misses and spent a lot of time trying to hit these little targets. And I don't know, I wasn't mentally in it here. The rifle is certainly more than capable of pulling this off a lot better than I'm doing it here. It just didn't happen for me this time, which was unfortunate, to say the least. Now, the way this stage works, once you make your 12 hits, you then drop the magazine, which means you have 1 round in the chamber, and you make 1 hit on the larger plate. So like that. I notice there is nothing in the magazine and go, uh-oh, I wonder. Yep, I fired my very last round and then dropped the mag. So I have to put in a new mag, chamber 1 round, then drop the mag. I made that hit. That one's a penalty if you don't make it. And the idea is now the rifle is 100% empty because you dropped the mag and you fired the 1 chambered round, so you can just drop it without having to show it clear or anything like that. Then drag the sledge all the way back, which really sucks at this point. And then you have to go down and hit the remaining poppers and the stop plate 1 more time. And I am going to time out here right as I get to my shooting position. First, I'm going to run into the cameraman. Oops.
That's a bit disappointing. I felt like I was doing okay. I just ran out of time.
Slow rifle, slow pistol. All right, next stage, Grenadier. This one starts, this is more of the pistol, so from that...
It was not a good idea.
Yeah, Les is right. That pistol wasn't a good idea. We start this with a tennis ball launcher, actually a cannon, which we are shooting tennis balls into, or attempting to shoot into, a minivan.
Stand by.
The idea is if you hit it, which, am I?
No ball.
I missed. If you can drop the tennis ball into this minivan, which you'll see in a moment, then you don't have to engage the 4 pistol plates behind it. I didn't hit it, so I have to engage a total of 12 pistol poppers here. And this is not gonna go well. I am getting good practice reloading the thing. So there's 4 plates from each car. That's a little better. So here's the minivan. If I had gotten the tennis ball in that door, then I wouldn't have had to engage those 4 blue base targets. Another reload. Having just timed out on the last stage, I was getting really worried at this point that, like, oh, this is really going badly in every way. And am I going to time out on another stage? That would really, really be unfortunate. These shots really aren't that hard. I'm doing a halfway decent job. Like, if I'd had an automatic pistol, I could have shaved a lot of time off of this, because I'd have had about 1/3 as many reloads, and the reloads would have been faster. Got some problem opening the Velcro there.
Really not going well.
I don't know why I'm whispering, but it really isn't going well. All right, finally, I can show the RO clear.
Clear.
And now I can move on to the second half of the stage, if I can get this thing back in its holster, which is a VTAC barricade. There are 7 marked ports on the VTAC, and you have to get just one hit on a little mini IPSC target through each port, which pretty straightforward and simple, and actually worked pretty well. There again, I actually had a round chambered, but I was so used to the incredibly light and crisp trigger press on the revolver that I squeezed far enough that I thought I just had an empty chamber. Come on. There we go. A little funky with the high sight over bore, the FAMAS, but honestly didn't really cause me any major problems. I've done this sort of barricade before. The potential problem here is, what if I'm going to run out of time? The RO just warns me I have 10 seconds left, and so I'd better get a move on.
Oh, thank God.
Well done!
Oh, jeez. That revolver, not a good idea. Not much glory coming out of that. Ah.
All right, unload, show clear.
Clear.
So I should clarify that every target not engaged, if you time out and don't hit everything, every target that's left is a penalty, and every penalty is a minute.
Oh, I am so glad that I actually finished that and didn't time out. I did not expect to be doing nearly that terribly with the revolver. Oh, geez.
Now we've got the long range. We've got 4 rifle targets here. 200, 300, 315, 400, and 550 yards. And I am using, oh yeah, 2 for 2. I am using the BDC. You can see me adjusting it there on the scope. I am just clicking it to the known range of the targets. That one was really hard to see. The 550 was almost impossible for me to see, but I lined up on where I was pretty sure it was. First round hit. That is, I'm so incredibly happy with that result. It's fantastic. Now there are 3 targets closer up, basically 2 at 50 meters, and one is the 200 meter, the first DMR target. And I just have to hit each of those twice. Have to hit them each twice without double tapping them. So we'll go a second round here. Went really well until this very last shot, which I just started rushing, and I was sort of like so relieved at my performance with the DMR that I just kind of stopped trying really hard, and as a result got a bunch of misses here before I finally hit it.
Still left, bring it right. Split the distance. Hit!
There we go.
Very good run.
I am now 1 for 1, straight hits, no misses with the DMR for the entirety of day 1 of the match.
They've done something right with that gun.
So the overall story from day 1 of Desert Brutality 2021 is FRF2 good, revolver not so good. So stick around. We'll be back tomorrow with the second day of shooting and the second set of 4 stages. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching.